the 1970s, this area was a dangerous place. Some of the children, my mother realized, were growing up in a horrible, horrible environment to bring up a child. There were broken families, half families, families where parents are in prison and stuff like that. So they didn't have an ideal upbringing. So she sought to put here a school that is based on the foundations of Christianity.
You know, in Uganda here, we the youth, we face a lot of challenges. Because if you talk about drug abuse, it's one of the biggest problems that we are facing here in Uganda, mostly we the youth. I was once a victim. And if I can use my testimony to change other people, then let me do that, so that at least I save my fellow youth from using drugs and aviation fuel as well.
I came to the hospital to see a patient, and because I love music too much, and I love dance, music was being played in one of the wards, and I figured if they let them listen to music that loud especially, they might let them dance. So I went out on a whim. I wrote a letter to the administration asking to dance with the alcohol and drugs unit patients, because I figured they pick up their vices from clubs, they listen to this music, they love to dance, so they will appreciate what I do more. And I have been dancing at Butabika Hospital for 2 years. When we started, of course, I was genuinely afraid. But midway through the class, I realized that, first of all, the class was charged with like a different special energy. We had such a great time that by the end of the class, we were high-fiving, hugging each other, taking selfies. I mean, there was no boundaries. It didn't matter who they were, what they looked like, what they were suffering from. Nothing. We were just all on the same high. And I realized that, wow, this music and dancing and everything really puts us all at the same level. Once we have danced, we are one and we are the same. All our inhibitions, all our fears and everything dissolve at that point.
In this community, the mothers that we have are single. It's hard for most of them. The foundation at least is helping to pay for a few kids. The foundation has about 300 kids, but so far like 20 are going to school. So we identify these mothers and we support them where we can.
There was this girl that had come from one of the countries in the region and had been told the sex trade is booming in Uganda, and she came to Uganda, made some unfortunate situations. She was thrown out of a moving car, dragged on the tarmac, and I think she was one of the girls we first responded to. So we just came in. I think we responded as moms. We just came in with all the passion and brought food, clothing, provided care. She was taken away, but a seed had been planted in our hearts, and we felt these are the girls we want to look out for, these are the girls we want to respond to. We didn't even know what that looked like, but shortly after that we were introduced to a pastor who was reaching out to the girls. He would go out at night, go out during the day. He had a church in Katanga, and so we started by just going there and taking food and clothing, and very quickly we identified needs, that the young girls needed a place to stay, a shelter, a place better than just what he was able to provide for them and afford.
We started that dance group, Splash, and we were performing, we were going to schools to inspire, having motivation speaking, you know. Those young kids really go through a lot of challenges in schools. That's why you see the dropout number is really big. So we decided to do that to really find a solution. And one thing I've loved about like this dance industry, it's the only industry that has given everyone a chance, actually, because no matter how, you know, we have different disabilities. The way I do dancing, it's not the way someone with autism is going to do it. It's not the way someone with cerebral palsy, but they this dance gives you an option that everyone can use their unique body to communicate, and this is dancing.